Hello everyone, it's Sheila back with another tutorial, and this one I'm doing, it's I'm not sure what it's called. I think it could be a honeycomb, and there's 4 rows to the pattern, but the first and second row, the third and fourth rows are the same, just they're done in a different place. So there's actually really only 2 rows to the pattern. It's because the honeycomb stitch, you have that stitch there comes in between the 2 from the rows below, and that's how the stitches are the same, and that's how it's working. I'll show you how to do this. And I'm using, this is another ball of Peyton's yarn that I bought. I bought it for to do you know, like in crochet, for to do flowers and coasters and flowers and granny squares and things like that. And that was what I bought it for, and it turned out to be a very nice yarn. I like knitting with it. Actually, it feels much better than I usually get Aldi's So Crafty, but I think I might be changing to this. And this is the Peyton's. It's Fab double knitting, and use 4mm needles or hooks, whatever you're doing with it. But I'll show you how to do this pattern now. And I'm starting off with, I'm knitting the first 2 stitches. It starts off with knit 2, and then the next stitch, instead of going into that part of the stitch, you go into the stitch below, down there, like that. You go in there and you knit that stitch, and you take the whole stitch off the needle, and then it's knit 1 stitch and knit into the stitch below. That's what it's called, knitting below. You knit that stitch and take the whole thing off the needle. And it's knit 1 below, knit 1, knit 1 below, knit 1, knit 1 below. And the light's not very good in my house today. I'm using the my ring light again, and hope that it can be seen better, because the light in my living room just casts shadows on everything I do. It's the light in my kitchen, actually, not my living room. So knitting 1, knitting the stitch below, knit 1, knit the stitch below, knit 1, knit the stitch below. You have to make sure you go through the whole stitch when you go on that stitch below, and come back through that whole stitch. Knit 1, knit 1 below, knit 1, knit 1 below, knit 1, knit 1 below, knit 1, and knit the last stitch. And that's the first row. And you can see it's joining the honeycomb is in between the 2. There's the honeycomb there, and that's in between the 2 that were below. Now the next row is just knit. You just knit across the whole row. I'll pause that. That's that knit row finished. And now I'm going to do the third row of the pattern, which was exactly the same as the first row, only where before I started with knit 2, I'm only going to knit 1 first at the start of this row. Knit 1, and then knit 1 stitch below, knit 1, knit 1 stitch below, it's on the row below, knit 1, knit 1 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 below, and I'll go to the end of that row. And the last 2 stitches is knit 1 below and knit 1. And that's another 1 below done in between the 2 from the previous row before, and then it's just 1 more row of knit. Just knit all the way across. I'll pause that like, and that's that knit row. And that's another row. That's 4 rows to the pattern. Quite simple. You get into quite a rhythm when you do this, and as you can see, it's fairly easy and it's a nice pattern. I think it can be used on both sides. That's the main side. It looks like a honeycomb on both sides actually, so it's probably a reversible pattern. So if you like my video and would like to see more, give it a thumbs up and subscribe.